For over 20 years, Curitiba has been acknowledged as the country's ecological capital because of all the care dispensed by the city to its environment in order to ensure better quality of life for people. But it has not always been like this. In 1970, when the UN declared that every citizen should have a minimum of 12 square meters of green area, Curitiba offered just 1/2 a square meter per inhabitant. However, since 1970, even though the city's population has grown from 600,000 to 1,700,000 inhabitants, each Curitibano has 51 square meters of green area. This miracle was only possible thanks to developing an integrated plan for basic sanitation, environmental preservation, and offer of new spaces for the population to meet, have fun, practice sports, or just relax. The City Hall set aside large areas of surviving forests, expropriating areas along valley bottoms. Along the rivers, ponds and lakes were created to contain the force of the waters during rainier periods. One way of preventing flooding in the city very efficiently at a cost 50 times lower than a channel network. Equipped with culture, sports, and leisure equipment, these areas helped prevent irregular land occupation, became highly valued meeting points for the population, and became a lovely collection of postcard shots, proudly exhibited by Curitiba. Over 30 woods and parks, each one with its own special characteristics that surprise and charm visitors. Several among the parks are keepsakes of important moments of the city's history. This park, for instance, amid so much natural beauty and so many spaces for leisure activities, refers back to the time when the Tingui Indians were the region's sole inhabitants, as well as being a symbol of the time of arrival of the Portuguese settlers to the country in 1500. In this other park, we can feel the mood and climate of adventure found in the city in the period dominated by the movement of mule troops carrying goods between the Brazilian south and southeast regions. Log cabins built in a not too distant past, ancient churches and monuments, tracks that seem to come out of a fairy tale, towers, belvederes, verses from important poets appear in the landscape of parks and woods in honor and memory of the arrival of immigrants, peoples from all over the world who so much contributed towards writing the history of Curitiba. Here, history produced a worked-out quarry, a wound caused by man in nature, today revitalized as one of the most emblematic signs of ecological awareness in the city's landscape. The city's concern with environmental preservation is even more evident in initiatives like the creation of Unilivre, Free University of the Environment, the first of its type in the Americas, integrated to the landscape of a beautiful natural woods, or in the originality of the concept of the Natural History Museum, which allows visitors to see birds and animals along a trail that crosses the forest, or yet in the plastic beauty of the iron and glass greenhouse and the different research and leisure opportunities offered by the botanical gardens. Main attraction in the city for many years, from Curitiba's oldest park, the zoo was relocated to Iguaçu Park, where over 1,000 animals of 80 species live in perfect harmony with nature. One of the country's largest urban parks, the Iguaçu is also visited by people simply looking to practice sports like sailing, or by people wishing to breathe fresh air coming from the preservation woods and the ecologic sanctuary. In all these places, it is always possible to feel awed by the show of preserved nature. In the path that penetrates the majesty of the forest, in a sunset that enchants the surface of a pond, in the noise of a waterfall cascading into a lake, in the colors of a bird seen for the first time, But Curitiba does not display its concern with the urban environment only through parks and woods. This concern is also expressed here in the Municipal Arboretum, site of research projects, and that produces annually over 50,000 tree, ornamental shrubbery, and native fruit tree seedlings of over 100 species. This ensures enough stock to plant trees along the streets, in the public squares and gardens, or simply for people to plant in their own gardens. With time, the City Hall's different forms of manifesting its environmental responsibility won over every Curitibano to the cause of environmental preservation. This enabled Curitiba to become the first city in the country to practice selective garbage collection. Recyclable waste is sent to plants where it is transformed into other products, ensuring a source of income for many destitute families. It's in this way, through attitudes with awareness, that the City Hall and citizens promote environmental preservation, caring for the well-being of people who live in Curitiba today, but knowing how to keep a generous eye out for the future generations.